Fred, I'll tell you this. Me, I gave them 0.0001 for being there, you know, out of 10. Because I'll tell you this, it's good for Kenyans to know. That's why we are here. These points, they were not meant to be. It was just something to cool temperatures, to have like a gateway to this cooperation. They were hurriedly done. The day I saw them, Fred, I could tell from a leadership and governance expert, there was nothing enforceable. They were just praying. There were no deliverables, right? There were no timelines. Remember, it's after 6 months that they said, wow, we need to constitute a team. They were never meant to be. But because of the late Raila Odinga trying to manage his opposition side and the supporters, they had to come and say, you put all those things, you know, of, you know, no more mandamanos, you know, the issue of compensation of people. Please, Kenyans know this thing was just a PR. When you know when you know that, you relax. It was never meant to be. And I'll give you an example. The first thing that was supposed to be done under NADCO, forget about IBC. Come on. IBC, whether there was NADCO report or not, was supposed to be done. IBC should have been constituted immediately after the elections so they can be able to begin doing their work. That was a major thing there. That was not done. Number two, very important, is the audit of the 2022 elections. That if there was any meaningful intention of doing this thing, that is something that should have been done. But there was no willingness from both sides. Everybody relaxed when this thing was signed. If you want to know the context of this, Fred, listen to Sifuna. Sifuna said, it's me who wrote. It's me who knew why I signed this thing. It was meant to manage, to buy time, right? So the key issue of the NADCO was actually because the audit of the 22 elections was going to influence a lot of other things. It was never done. Now look at this. Inclusivity in budget allocations appointments. That is something so broad. What do you mean by inclusivity? To who? To where? Who was complaining before when you say budget allocations? So
what is the relevance of this 10-point agenda that everyone keeps loosely referring to? What is the relevant now, 17 months to election? Because if at all you say that even those drafters knew that this was not enforceable, why do we still talk about it even now? It would appear there's some relevance or there's some role it is to play as you head towards election.
Let me say this. Now, when you see, of course, Sifuna saying that I'm the one to supervise them and all that, this issue, I must admit that if there was a will from the word go to enforce them, it would have mattered. If there was a will. But since there was no will from government,
or from all the drafters,
mainly from okay, you see what Raila did. He had to bring something on the table to assuage the supporters of the opposition. That look here, I'm not just going to the government, but I'm going to something to say do ABCD. But from the way they were drafted, Fred, you can't draft such things without deliverables.
Listening to you, Dr. Mbae, then it would suggest that even the Linda Mwananchi team is a bit disingenuous in criticizing the implementation of something they knew was not enforceable.
I would say this. First of all, I have a problem with the fact that it is 6 months later that they discovered that there was no committee. So that one, I have a big problem with that. Having said that, if you look at all this, Fred, very quickly, you'll see that President seated there. He added 60 days, right? Why? Nothing. Just to play around, you know, with the minds of the people. To move around and buy time. 60 days to do what? Now, listen, when you talk about devolution, BAMBA said, Kura, Kera, markets, all those things the president is busy doing, even houses should go to the counties. Nothing. Like, there is no even intention. When you talk about protecting devolution, you talk about for 50 billion. Yet what is passed, BPO and all that is for 20. Is there any intention? So, Kenyans, please, relax. Let's not waste our time thinking there is anything. This 10-point thing, even after 60 days, another sarcasm will come. Some disjointed thing. I had the vice chair lead that thing. It was nothing. There was no content. So let's not be deceived, Fred. Let's move on with our lives, the way we are moving on with life. It matters nothing.
I wonder if Senator Dr. Danso Mungatana agrees with you. Do you agree that probably this